Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this special voicemail episode of the Bull City Coordinators Duke Football Coverage Podcast. We did not get 5 voicemails. We got 4. Who cares? I'm going with it anyway. And because I don't feel like taking all the time it would take to edit these up and put them in before each voicemail, I am instead just going to answer questions that are going to be asked in the future segment of this podcast. So you may have to rewind a little bit as you hear Ben predict the future and give answers to questions that have not been answered yet. Sorry, I don't know what else to do. Anyway, so first you are going to hear from Jason Rogers. Jason did send me a text. He wanted me to add this in, which is a little more context on what he meant about Diaz maybe not being the right guy. What Jason wanted me to say was that at Miami, Diaz most likely had great resources, but he didn't really deliver with the advantages that come with being at Miami and all the, things that you have there that maybe you don't have at other schools. After that, Diaz went to Penn. Everybody thought, okay, he's learned a lot from Penn. Maybe the attention to detail has improved, but we haven't really seen it improve over these almost 2 seasons. And Jason was pointing out that you're still seeing a lot of what we did see at Miami, which, if you listen to the OG podcast, is really just Chuck Amato 2.0. So Jason wanted me to add that in. And Jason, thank you for calling in and for sending that text. I hope I see you at the UVA game on Saturday. Now, Freddie and Eli also asked for my thoughts. Freddie Hodges is the second voicemail. Eli from the GA Scumbags podcast is the third voicemail. My thoughts on the rest of the season are Duke could easily win these remaining games, close out the season on a winning streak. But this team is inconsistent. I just don't see it happening. Maybe they end up 7-5. I don't really see how they get to 8-4. That's just me, whatever. I just have not seen the consistency from this team to make me think that that's a possibility. So that's my thoughts on the rest of the season. And really, this team is more in line to what I had expected before I started talking to some of you folks who were closer to the program. And I'm not blaming you for this, but I just felt so positive after talking to you all that maybe my initial cautiousness was misplaced. But I think maybe we all were expecting something that just wasn't realistic this season based on the talent that was brought in. And that, of course, kind of gets me to what Eli was asking about. What do I think? Maybe what needs to change. If you have not subscribed to the On3 Rivals Devils Illustrated, you should. There's some stuff that I've posted on there about my thoughts on what maybe is happening right here. And I'm not going to get into all of it because that is a site worth paying for and you should subscribe to. But what I would point out is go look at a lot of coaches and see if their worst year after having a good first year is the second year. And then maybe after that, you see some improvement. Jim Mora, for example, had a rough second year. He's gotten better since then, right? If you're a Commanders fan, you're seeing that now with that team, right? This year's been bad for injuries and some other reasons. But maybe it's just that this season is sort of a sophomore slump, and maybe it'll work itself out come season 3 or season 4. There's no reason not to think that. Certainly possible, but I do think Diaz needs to get in a coaching CEO, a coaching consigliere. I'm in Roanoke. I know all about Frank Beamer doing that top to bottom analysis that he did when his job was on the line, and you saw things improve. And I think maybe Diaz should do that to say, why do we keep struggling on special teams? And what is happening this year that has caused us to be so not careful with the football? That's kind of what I think. Those are my thoughts on maybe what needs to happen. But I also just think you go into the portal, sometimes you get guys who gel. We had 2 really, really good receivers, 2 program core receivers last year that just aren't there this year. Not that the receivers that we have are bad, but I just wonder if the leadership just isn't there. And that's a hard thing to say from outside the program. I'm not throwing it out there, but you do kind of wonder, is there a leadership problem? It's easy to say from a distance. It's harder to say when you're actually up close. I'm not taking shots at any of these guys, but you do have to kind of wonder, maybe there could be a leadership issue. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on everything, and I do need to correct myself. I misspoke when I said that in my voicemail you will hear me misspeak about the Duke Georgia Tech football game. I said that we had held the offense scoreless until the fourth quarter. I believe that was incorrect. Georgia Tech got a field goal in the third quarter, which made it 10-10. What I was trying to say was that when you have a defense that can hold Haynes King and that Georgia Tech offense with no offensive touchdowns until the fourth quarter, you ought to win that game. No excuses. You cannot lose that game. And if you do lose that game, that goes back to the leadership, the attention to detail, and those sorts of problems that have to be fixed. So with that in mind, enjoy the episode. Come see me on Saturday. We will be there. And as always, go Duke.
Hey Ben, hope this message finds you well. Just want to call in and express the disappointment in many of the games that I've seen. I just let the cat out of the bag. I just don't think a lot of folks that hear this might not agree, and that's okay. But I just don't think Manny Diaz was the right hire. I felt like that from day one, even though we did what we did last year. I just think the attention to details is not there, and that comes from coaching. Just point blank. And I hope if he stays there 2 years, I hope I'm eating crow in Roanoke, Virginia with you one day. And that'll be great. But a lot of fans put in a lot of time and work now, and I feel like that we should be getting a good product. Maybe that's not the right words to be using, but I just feel that way. And again, attention to details isn't there. Yesterday, a couple of the guys in a regular zone were out of position. I saw it on TV. If I see it, I know the coaches can see it. So, again, that's attention to details. And I am a player's player. I don't like to hear that the players aren't doing something correctly. So that means that they're either not being coached correctly or there's a lot of things wrong in the locker room. So that being said, and then a lot of people, one more thing, a lot of people say we're young. Terry Moore's not there, but Terry Moore hasn't been there. So the players that are there, the coaches should be getting them ready to play, period. It's not like Terry Moore played 3 or 4 games and now he's not playing. So they've been there since day one. Nick Morris Jr. getting hurt, that did upset the apple cart a little bit, but it's not a death sentence by no means. So just attention to detail is not there at all. And I know I'm chewing my cabbage several times, but anyway, good to hear from you, and we'll see you later. And as always, go Duke.
Ben, Bull City Coordinators, it's Freddie Hodges, Duke Report. After the loss to Connecticut yesterday, I'm just trying to rack my brain. I would pull my hair out, but I don't have any to worry about right now. What has happened to this Duke football season? I know projections, I had them at 9-3 to start the season, but these non-conference losses, the UConn one, I felt like it was a trap game, but I did not see it happening like this, especially after the momentum building Clemson win from last week. I just want to know thoughts on the rest of the season. The ACC chaos has reigned supreme. I think we still have a shot at making the ACC title game if we can beat Virginia at home next week. But just last week, I thought we were in position to make the college football playoff. I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, I think they take the top 5 conference winners, and Duke could have been one. But now I'm looking at a team with 4 losses and is still not bowl eligible with 3 games left in this season. Spilled out a lot right there, but I want to know your thoughts for the last 3 games. You know, are we still have hopes for a decent bowl, or are we just trying to be triangle good right now and beat Wake and UNC? Love the pod, man, and talk to you soon.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Eli with the GA Scumbags here. I'm going to do my best not to curse, as I understand that's the only rule here, so bear with me. I don't know where we go from here with this Duke team, and I quite frankly don't know what to make of this Duke team. Are we too talented to be playing this bad, or are we not too talented to be playing this bad, and are we playing to our talent level? Our quarterback has been worth all the money. He's been elite this year. He's leading the country or top 5 in multiple categories. Our running game is fantastic. Our receivers have been great. Our line has been solid. But that doesn't stop us. Like, we have a vanilla set of plays. Our play calling is so vanilla on offense, and then make boneheaded decisions. I mean, it's just every week. Whatever's working, we stop doing that. Every time. And then we don't go back to it until late in the game. Every time. It's the Jonathan Brewer special. Now the defense, what the heck happened to this defense? We would not have fluked into those 9 games that we won last year without this defense. And overall, with the exception of a couple guys, it's the same guys. So I don't know what the heck happened to this team. I think coaching is an issue, but I don't know who. Is it Manny? Is it just the coordinators? Is it all of them? Something has to happen. This team, our personnel on offense anyway, is too talented for this. And special teams, abysmal as always. Something has to be done. If this program wants to be serious and continue to grow, we have to make changes. We have to hold people accountable. None of this Facebook fan, they're doing just fine BS. Something has to be done. I don't know what. I would love to hear what people have to say.
All right, guys, this is Ben. Just giving you my thoughts on the team so far. And I'm a little angry, so I'm going to take some shots this time. Starting first and foremost, Dad, why did you raise me to root for this team? Huh? So I could watch them lose to UConn after holding Georgia Tech with 0 offensive points until the 4th quarter and lose that game? Huh? So I could watch them lose to UConn on the road, fall to 5-4 instead of 7-2, where that team should be. Okay? Had they won, I don't know, against maybe frickin' Tulane. Terrible. You know, why on earth, this is just me spitballing here, didn't you raise us to be, I don't know, Clemson fans, since we grew up in the town right next to the Tigers? And most important, they won a national championship in football 7 months before I was born. Huh? Why? Why didn't you allow for that? Okay? Now, another thought. Coworkers. Ever wonder why I'm mad all the time or I seem angry? Wife. Mrs. Bull City coordinators. Kids. You ever think, wow, Dad seems like he's ticked off about something. Well, you know what, guys? Why don't you watch this joke of a program for 40 years and then tell me how you feel? Tell me how you would feel. It wouldn't be good. Manny Diaz, you and the staff have got to drop those Apple Watches on the sidelines. You got the money, get something a little classier. There is a nice Seiko 5 sports watch with an all-blue face. I will buy it and send it to you. Okay? Because all the other team is doing is hacking into your staff's Apple Watches and stealing all the plays so they can cause us inexplicable turnovers at the worst possible time. Anyway, I'll be at Wallace Wade on Saturday with a big group. Rooting for the Blue Devils. Beat UVA. Love you guys. Go Duke.